is we're discussing the law of supply, which says there's a positive relationship between price and quantity supplied, ceteris paribus, meaning all other things held constant, meaning if the price that the good you're selling can be sold at a higher price, you want to sell more of that good so that you can make more revenue and more profit. So this positive relationship is illustrated with this graph here of price on the y-axis, we have quantity supplied on the x-axis. All right. So as the price is going up, the quantity supply goes up. If the price goes down, the quantity supplied is also going to go down. So just like the demand curve, the supply curve can shift. Okay, so if it shifts to the right, as you can see with this green figure here, if it shifts to the right, it means that's an increase in supply. If it shifts to the left, this is a reduction in supply. All right. So now we're going to look at factors, okay, that can cause these shifts in supply. Okay. And these factors are also called the non-price determinants of supply or the supply shifters. Okay. Non-price determinants of supply. Okay. The first one, okay, we can talk about natural disasters, droughts, famine, pandemics. We saw when Corona hit, factories started closing it down. And when the factory closes down, what happens to the supply, colleagues? It also goes down, right? So, epidemics like Corona, you have a natural disaster in your country, floods, earthquake, hurricanes, okay, even wars. If you have wars, you find industries are not going to be producing because people are fled. There's no one to produce. Okay, so these are called negative shocks, basically. Okay, negative shocks. Okay, natural disasters, war, and disease in terms of pandemics. Okay. Apart from negative shocks, you've also got positive shocks. Okay, positive shocks, good climate. You find that year it has rained. Okay, you're having a bumper harvest. Okay, the economy is growing for a nation. Okay, people are buying from the nation. Positive shocks, positive and negative shocks. So the positive shocks we can put here. Good weather, etc. Any questions? Mm-hmm. And then I've put I've put here one positive shock. Okay, I've mixed them in. That's why I put a colon. I'll put a division mark like this. In the notes, they are separated, so you see them. Here, I'm just putting them for this lesson's sake. Next one, actions of government. Taxes. Government increases taxes. We see what happens here in Zambia with the mines and everything. That's why they are treated on a pedestal. Okay, because they know they're one of the biggest employers here in the country. If you tax them, if you increase taxes on them and they go, there will be unemployment. And since we rely on copper, when the mine goes, product supply of copper will go down. Okay, so taxes also increase costs of production for a business. Higher taxes, it means cost of producing will be high. So some businesses, if the cost of producing is high, it's either they lower production or they go. And when they go, supply will go down. If there were lower taxes and you're given tax holidays and everything, that's why you see, that's how you attract a lot of foreign businesses in your country because taxes are expensive. Sharing your profit, okay, everyone tends to get greedy. So when you're sharing your profit, you don't want to give a big share. So higher taxes, you're going to be giving a bigger share of your profits. Lower taxes, you give a lower share. Okay. Apart from taxes, colleagues, what other action of government do you think can affect productivity in terms of supply? Yes, so price, yeah, price, yes, correct. Price ceiling is the one which benefits the customers, yeah, and then the suppliers get affected because the price is too low. Yes, so price ceilings, yes, you're correct, sir. Okay, even a price floor, the price ceiling will reduce supply. Then what will the price floor do? If a price ceiling will reduce supply, what will the price floor do? Mr. Kelly? Price floor is the minimum amount a seller can sell their good for. Price ceiling is the maximum amount the seller can sell the good for. So, with the price ceiling, the ones who benefit is the consumers. Okay, because the price is usually lower than the equilibrium price, which is the market price. The current price which is being the good is being traded at. Okay. Should I refer to the graph so that it's more illustrative? Let me just refer to the graph so that it's more intuitive. Supply curve, demand curve. Okay, let's think of this as millimule. Normal price of millimule right now, 385 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this is how much millimule is going for. There's a certain quantity that's demanded. I don't know what quantity is demanded, but let's say, okay, the quantity demanded maybe is 1000 for this example sake. So if government puts a price ceiling is below the equilibrium point, okay? Price ceiling, yeah, let's say 200 kwacha, telling every mill, sell your maize, your milling meal at 200 kwacha. Us, the customers, are going to be happy, okay? We are going to be happy because it's cheaper than this 385. So as you can see here, where this price ceiling is touching the demand curve, this will illustrate the demand for the good because this is cheaper. People can buy more of that good. So let's say here 1,500. But if we look where this pricing is touching the supply curve, okay, this will represent the quantity supplied. The quantity supplied is going to be less, okay, because majority of the millers cannot sell minimum at that price, okay, because they've got costs that they've got to cover. And this 200 might not be able to cover those costs. So some will even go out of business. So a price ceiling is the maximum amount that can be, the legal maximum amount that can be charged for a good. Are we okay with that, colleagues? Price ceiling. So the price ceiling, you're going to experience shortages. Supply is going to go down, okay, because the sellers and the producers cannot produce at that lower price. Then the price flow is above equilibrium here. Okay, so if the government puts a price flow, okay, PF here, price flow, this is the minimum legal price that can be charged for a good. Okay, so if government puts a price flow of 400 kwacha, meaning the producers can sell the bags of milli meal above 400 kwacha. Okay, 400 is the minimum. They can go above. All right. So now this becomes more expensive to us, the consumers. Okay, it becomes more expensive to us, the consumers. So what will happen with the price flow? Quantity supplied here is going to outweigh quantity demanded here, and you have a shortage. Any questions? Madam Lily, any questions? Mr. Kelly, any questions? Mr. Godfrey, any questions? Mr. James, Madam Hope, Mr. Mavins. Okay. So, yes, we can put these price ceilings and price floor under actions of government. Okay, price ceilings. Just when you mention them, just remember their effect on supply. Okay, so price ceilings, price floors. Okay, what else? What else? What other action of government? Okay, because we see this on the news. Okay, government is implementing actions. Quotas. All right, colleagues, what's a quota? It's a restriction on the amount of goods that can be imported into the country. So if you are a business and your raw materials are coming from abroad, they're being imported, and the quota has been imposed, what will happen to the productivity of your business? If you are relying on, let's say, you're relying on fruits from South Africa, okay, they're not grown here in Zambia. Okay, they're only grown that side, and the government imposes a quota. What's going to happen to your productivity? It will go down. Yes, it will go down. If you can source raw materials within the nation, well and good. Because remember, a quota. What is the purpose of a quota? The purpose of a quota is for protecting local industries, local suppliers, and local manufacturers. Okay, you don't want businesses to be importing from abroad. Okay, you want businesses to be utilizing what's within the country. Okay, so if you as a business, if you can switch and say, okay, we'll use local products, then the quota really wouldn't affect you. But if you rely solely on these imported goods, whatever it is, okay, then you will be in trouble. Okay, imagine if Congo imposed. No, no, no. Imagine if, for example, because Congo is got a lot of minerals. Okay? And imagine, let's say, quotas were imposed in these countries that need these minerals to produce these gadgets and everything. Those factories won't be able to, because since it's imported from Congo and there's a quota and that mineral can't come in, so that factory in America won't be able to source it anywhere else, and then they'll produce less. Okay? So quotas restriction on the amount of goods that are coming in. Then what about a tariff? A tariff is a tax on imported goods. Okay, I've seen America is imposing tariffs, okay, on Mexico, Canada. He's going worldwide basically. Reason being, yeah, the imported goods that are coming into America, they want to lessen them so that American goods are being used for manufacturing and whatever. The quotas and tariffs are to protect a nation, the producers and the manufacturers within a nation. You do not want raw materials or anything from abroad. You want to use your own. Okay. So if you are a business, and as I said, if you're relying on imports from another country, and now they put a tariff, meaning to bring in those goods, there's an extra charge you have to pay. Okay, you order less of those goods. Okay. And colleagues, who ends up suffering from these quotas and tariffs at the end of the day? Who ends up suffering? It's us, the consumers. Okay, because if a quota is imposed, so you as a business, since you're importing less, you're going to charge more for that good you're producing because you want to recoup your profits. Even if a tariff is being charged, you as a business, eventually you're going to pass it on to the customer and goods start becoming expensive. Subsidies, financial aid by government to industries, okay, where government tries to lower costs of production so that industries can increase productivity. Right. So usually when a subsidy is given to a certain industry, you since your cost of production will go down, you produce more. Because remember, these factors that affect supply, majority of them, it all comes down to what happens to the cost of producing. The cost of producing is going to go up, your supply will get affected. The cost of producing also goes down, the supply will be affected. It just depends which way the cost of production has gone up or down. If it's down, you supply more. If it's gone up, fine, you're going to supply less, or you can even stop supplying all in all. Any questions? Or also certain regulations put by government. For example, if government tells the mines, no, that waste from the mines after you make it, clean it up. What you're putting in the Kafue River or whatever, or how you're polluting the air, you have to clean it up or find a cleaner way of producing. Now we know to a business, when you make a mess, cleaning up that mess is expensive. We saw what happened with BP on the Gulf of Mexico, that oil leak. Imagine how much it costs to clean that oil leak there. And then also, if these regulations were saying, okay, if you use a cleaner way or cleaner method of producing where you're producing minimal waste, you find that cleaner method might be expensive to you as the business. Right? Normal operations where you produce and just throw away the wastes, it's not costing you anything because you just throw away the wastes and you continue producing. But if you're told to clean those wastes or change the way you are producing so that you are making less of those wastes, then it becomes a problem to a business. Okay, so even regulations put by government, okay, can also affect supply. Price of inputs, raw materials, and labor. Okay, if you produce mealie meal and the price of maize goes up, it means you buy less maize, and when you buy less maize, that will translate to less production. If the price of maize goes down, it means you can buy more maize. When you buy more maize, you can produce more meal. So the price of raw materials also can affect supply. Even workers, if workers are demanding higher wages, labor costs are also a big cost to a lot of companies. That's why you see big companies usually going having factories in countries where the labor laws are relaxed, where they can abuse the labor, pay cheap labor and produce more. Okay, because labor costs, especially where you've got a factory, you've got many workers, okay, if they start demanding higher wages, that's more costs to you as a business. Okay. And as a business, you cannot tell someone no, we're reducing your salary. So if they're demanding higher wages, this is where you see now layoffs happen. Because if the company can't handle that cost, okay, they'll have to lay off some workers. And when they lay off workers, less workers in the factory, less productivity. But if the labor costs are low, like in these so-called, I won't call them third world countries because I don't like that term third world country. But in these other countries, even here, the labor laws, I don't think they're very strict like that. The Chinese, I believe they abuse them. Okay. But if a company can find where their labor laws are relaxed, and you have cheap labor, they're going to take advantage of that. Because with cheap labor, they can produce more, and the more they produce, they can sell. Any questions? Technology. Better technology, better equipment, you're going to produce more. You're going to produce more than someone who's using outdated and old school technology. Yes. So these are the shifters of supply. Okay. I'll make I'll make an acronym like the one I made for demand so that you remember all of them. Okay. For now, the acronym that I can remember, we've got price of inputs, P, actions of government, A, negative shocks, N, negative and positive shocks. Could put it as NS, and we've got T. So maybe we can make this acronym PANTS, or PANT, yeah. Here, price of inputs, actions of government. Here, negative and positive shocks, and technology. Will we remember this acronym, colleagues? This will be your guide to remember the shifters of supply.